In the ordinance of keeping command, such as the Sabbath, you must understand salvation is made at confession. Therefore, the commands are already there. Watch and demonstrate how you can demonstrate foolish rebellion. Take a Christian says he does not keep Sabbath. Well, Christian, you're Antichrist, because the Lord is one, and he has commanded to keep the Sabbath. That means the Sabbaths are kept. So you saying you don't keep Sabbath, but Sabbath is there, is the obvious denial of the truth. Because you cannot be with the Lord God, you cannot be with God, God is with moms. You have been my God from my mother's womb. So everyone's with God. You may even be a God to yourself, but you will perish as a mortal man, not exalting her as God, and you as the Son of God, not yet confirmed to be lifted up as God. Now Moses was confirmed, but he did service for so long in proving, and he never raised himself to be called the Son of God, because God never told him down here he was the Son of God. He owes duty. David is told he is begotten this day. That means David kept the Sabbaths long enough, the 7 days, with God, to make it to the one day with the Lord God, where man is commanded. And the division is made in heaven because they thought they could find fault and blame the woman, the female, that is. Woe is man is female here. Woe man, she has suffered enough. So wherever you're bringing that woman, you better know she's already paid as a male, and as much as a male could possibly pay. That's a female, fe-male. P is a F, the hidden letter in Hebrew alphabet. Anybody that does scholarly work to etymology knows what I mean. The P is an F, that's all you really need to know. You don't have to study it or anything, but to understand that she pays as a male, all you need to know is that P is an F. They make the same exact movement and exertion of energy with the mouth whenever you say a P or an F. See, they're the same exact thing. So a pyramid is a pyramid, and the pyramid is right in the middle of all the earth landmass. If you put it together, it would be in the middle of all the land, hence all the men. This is why the Lord raised Pharaoh up for this very thing, to show my glory throughout the earth. That's the dirt. That is, you don't get to charge mothers, of course, because to deny all is to deny your mother is from heaven. This will, of course, run the Nile red, because you can't do adultery confirming her heavenly status, you see. Therefore, if the Christian is saying that he doesn't keep Sabbath, he is Antichrist. And he's not Christian. He can be a student, he can be a disciple of Christ. But any man in truth that's Christian knows he cannot be Christian, because Christ defines Christ. And Christian is to be as Christ. Ian at the end of a word, I-A-N, means to be like the word priorly stated. Therefore, Christ, Ian, is Christ-like. And Christ has defined, if you love me, if you're my servant, if you're my disciple, then you will do my word, keep my command. Well, I've already went past his command, and I'm still a Christian, because I'm crucified with him on the wall. He said, don't swear an oath. I swore an oath. Reason he says it is because you can't be technically with Christ at the disciple time. That is where you're mixing with mothers and so forth in answer. Jesus doing this. You'll see when they call down fire, he tells you I come for life, but Elijah calls down fire, and he's with the same Lord God of life. Yes, but Elijah is where men swear oaths for women. Therefore, me swearing an oath, I must be somewhere other than Christ, as when he's saying don't swear an oath, which is with the women and children, aka the churches. So then, I have to be somewhere else, and that puts me crucified with Christ instantly on the wall. That is, we are brothers. The fleshly man of Christ I cannot really be partaker with, because that man said don't swear an oath, and he prepared us for this. He said the Father is greater than I tell you this that you may believe. Now hear me, because if you are claiming anything other than the Father is greater than Christ, you do not understand anything of what is taking place in your world. You must be under your mother in drunkenness. Even if you're with women, you must be drunk off the blood. That is, you're drinking blood like water. You have yet to turn the water into wine, which is when that fleshly man, symbolizing in the beginning what would be the end, he will come out of the city and go cross over the Jordan. God is judge. Arden is the judge. Yah is the judge. Jordan, where John the Baptist is. John the Baptist is a representation of all men that took oath. The Father. Because he's at the Jordan when Jesus Christ comes to him. And he's in camel's hair. And he has nothing to do with women. Even if they're caught in the very act of adultery. He deals with the king. Seeing that the king is the only one he can rebuke, because he's the father at the forward head command, as the one that takes all the blame, because at least in the kingdom of heaven is greater than John. That puts John not in heaven, but bearing it up. Jesus does the same thing when it's his hour to become the Son of God, to be the Son of Man, to be the man. That is crucified before the gate. Until then, he is almost always speaking as the mother. When he is not, he will tell you or give a sign, such as he will bend knee into the dust and then rise up and say, I judge thee neither. Well, she says, he rises up and says, where are your accusers? She says, no man, my Lord. That's why he went to the dust, because he's showing he's the Son of Man, the Son of God, the man to God the Father. Why he's in the dust? Because it's dust to dust to man, mother to all living to her. Therefore, even in the act of adultery, you must keep her standing pillar. You must bear her up, or she will become a pillar of salt to unbelieving souls, such as Lot's wife, showing that Lot kept his wife in heaven. The salt you cannot get rid of. The pillars the Lord bears up. Sabbaths are one of those pillars. She bleeds 3 to 5 days a month. Any man that gets into this study of Sabbath will be led through really weird ways, because no man can truly keep the Sabbath as it is ordained, prescribed by Moses and in other areas in Talmud. No man can. And there's a point for this, is that you cannot keep all your women either, except by the Lord God. So too with Sabbath. Well, that's confession of sin, all the 10 commands. He keeps them. And this is what you confess, that he has kept them, he does keep them, and he will keep them. So to keep the Sabbath is just to say, Sabbath. Hey, Shabbat Shalom, have a peaceful Sabbath. And that is to keep the Sabbath. Because the Lord has commanded, don't labor on Sabbath. But you go to any ER, or you go to a birthing house or a woman's house where she has one of those birth mates or whatever, they help them, like they do in the Old Testament. And there are plenty today still doing that. I know a few. So if she's birthing in labor pains, she is laboring on the Sabbath. But that act in itself is by the Lord God, the one Father only. To make a daughter a mother, you must be the father. Every man that ever took a woman must be this. Therefore, the Father is greater than I tell you that you may believe, because that's how you got Jesus, by fathers doing that covenant, and then they give you the book of Jesus Christ. Therefore, they are in the stead of Moses, because they set up judges and established the covenant. Anyone that sets up judges is in Moses' seat, covenantally to God. Usually takes old men to do this. So, more pains and stripes and so forth. So, man having to keep that Sabbath is just confessing. She has been bleeding out 3 to 5 days a month. You're to teach how men are, that covenant, all fathers are commanded to teach the covenant to the son and to keep the Sabbath. And when Jesus says, I work and so does my Father, he's clearly speaking for the mother. Because she's the only one that works on the Sabbath, according to the one that said, don't work on the Sabbath. And it is so that men stop and give pause to the blood and menstrual pains that she is laboring, working in. Why he says don't work.